So this week, last Tuesday, Bungie gave us 100 extra slots in our vault. Thank you, Bungie. That means a lot to me. Um, yeah. Ooh, that's a sniper rifle, and that's a linear rifle. These are the only two weapons that I don't have on my character right now that fit an archetype, um, or a class. I guess it's a class of a weapon. Snipers and linear fusion rifles. So I want to break down what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I'm one of those people that the fewer working parts in a process, the better for me to manage the process. If there's an error, then it's either a replacement, a retrofit, or a refurbishment. And retrofit means that you're adding a little bit of extra. I think this is the wrong term I'm using, but I like alliteration. Replacing means obviously just that you take the part that's not working in the process, you replace it with something else, or you add another part to it and then see if that makes it better, um, or you upgrade the part that you already have in place. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I do that in my real world with my art supplies. Like right now, I've got close to 40 pots of Citadel, Warhammer Citadel Games Workshop paints. And really all I need is a base layer, a mid tone, a light tone, and a wash for each of the 7 colors plus black, which I count black actually as its own color because gray would be the mid tone, white would be the highlight, and then, the wash would be just whatever I put over there as a glaze. So discounting black and white and different top coats and thinners, that's going to be, if I use 4, that's 28 pots. 28 pots of paint, or dropper bottles if I transfer the dropper bottles, which I don't really plan to for many of them. I might transfer the base and the layer paints and the highlights to dropper bottles just for simplicity's sake, but the washes work much better out of the pot than they do as droppers. I feel like I waste more if I put a wash on the palette than if I just pull it out, put it on a palette and then just pull it out of the pot. But anyway, so and I was trying to think to myself last night, how can I apply that process, base, layer, highlight, wash, to this process, playing the game? What do I want out of this game? I want a character that has enough comfort zone in his stats that I could take him into more aspirational activities and actually have fun with some challenging modes. I am working towards finally doing the raids, doing legendaries, grandmasters, and heroics and stuff like that. But I want to do it in such a way as where I am not an encumbrance for my teammates, and I don't feel like I'm just flailing against a granite stone with a bunch of wet socks. Um, so, in terms of a game that is a first person shooter, what is the one thing in combat you're most interested in other than positioning? Well, that is, it is. It's the positioning of your target. Okay, whatever that target may be. It could be another player, it could be an NPC, it could be an object. You have basically 3 range bands. You have close, medium, and long. Uh, and then, because that's after playing this game for I don't know how many years now, 7 years, it really does operate on close, medium, and long. And if you look at the weapon types, there is a close, medium, and long to it. And then there are some that are hybrids. There's close to medium, medium to long. And I've seen some that are good at close and long, but suck pretty hard at medium. And that's all based on rate of fire, by the way. So I'm not a fan of anything slower than 600 in auto rifles. My goal, my process here is to be down to one weapon type each, and then in the energy slot have some staple weapons, one from each of the energy slots. That'd be stasis, void, solar, and arc. I could satisfy that with a hard light, and really the only reason why I need to satisfy an elemental type is for banshees and the vendors, is for basically completing bounties. Otherwise, you really don't care. I don't play games that match game is a factor. I don't play modes that match game is a factor. Eventually, I will, but in that case, I will probably look for a weapon that has osmosis on it or something where I could throw an elementally matching grenade, or I will bring the hard light specifically for that utility. Most of those games with match game, have equipment locking. So the hard light would be the most optimal option, would be the most optimal choice. And literally, I could just pull it out of vault. It's not a big deal. If I wanted to get super sassy, I could go with the Borealis. Where is she? Where's my baby? I like my Borealis. Where is she? I know I've seen it. It should be right in here, isn't it? Or maybe it's over here. Anyway, the Borealis has an elemental feature to it. There's also a new grenade launcher, which I've been thinking about wanting to get, the Parasite. I think it's the Parasite. No, it's not the Parasite. Parasite's something else. Where is it? Messenger, right? Kill the messenger. Yeah, I think it's a kinetic. Where am I? What am I doing? Why am I stalling here? 4 hours later. There we go. Borealis. A long press changes its weapon's damage type, but she only goes to the 3 primaries. Solar, Arc, and Void. She doesn't do solar. She doesn't do stasis yet, but that's cool. And we're good with that. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think it's in. I think it's there. Okay, so sidearms. Sidearms are close to mid range, although some do actually get a little bit outside of that. But I think that's like extreme cases. So a sidearm, hand cannon, close range, shotgun, close range, bows, pulse rifles, and scout rifles, mid to long range, mid range, maybe close range. 600s at close range don't really do that good, but a 600, a 700, a 720 at close range does pretty nasty. It's the same as a submachine gun. Submachine guns are close to mid range. Trace rifles close to mid range. Glaives close to mid range. Close to mid range. Although you can get long range if you're really skillful. Close to mid range. So my energy slot is really a lot of close to mid range, with one standout for long range, which would be 2 standouts for long range, which would be the Gnawing Hunger and the Battler. In my heavy slots, I have close to mid range, close range, close to mid range, then long range, close to mid range, and long range. You don't want to do grenade launch. You don't want to do really don't want to do grenade launches at close range, but you can if you're clever, if you're quick, and that's kind of what it is. All my armor here, if you look at it, it is close range, long range, and then get my ass from here to there. I don't really have a mid. I mean, melee is not really good for mid range. My super can be anywhere, close, medium, or long range. Grenades are basically mid range to long range, but I don't care about grenades because my hunter grenades are jokes. Pretty much they are. And I've got Demolitionist running on most of my gear, so I'm going to get it all the time. Do I feel satisfied with this kit? Everything on this side of the board, fuck yeah. I'm so fucking excited for it. Everything up in here, totally excited for it. Okay. Not so much in this area here. I don't really have a nice legendary sniper rifle yet. I believe there's a pattern for one. If I go to energy slots, here we go. Yeah. I have a pattern for the Thoughtless. I'm not quite there yet to try it out. I think maybe I'll do that today. Um, Beloved is, taking a sweet time. Father's Sins is something I have to do through the Throne World. So one of these 3 is going to be built. Eventually, it would be nice to have all of my go-to weapons, all my stock weapons, be constructed weapons. But again, because of the investment in them, even if they're not 100% what I want, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and just keep them around, because if there's a buff later on for it, I don't want to like totally undermine my ability to use them. That's kind of like, but then that's kind of like why some people are like, yes, 100 spots more from the vault, because they're keeping everything they got. You really don't need to. There's enough change up in the world pool that is so volatile. Yeah, you can go ahead and have one of every type of role, but unless you fully understand what each perk actually does in combination with every other perk, having every single gun possible is just not going to work. It's kind of like when I go through my Magic the Gathering selections, this is something I've been doing since the '90s because that's when I started playing Magic the Gathering in '94, '95. Um, I don't need. I need targeted direct damage. I need a area of effect direct damage, which means everything gets hit, and then I need delayed direct damage. So targeted direct damage would be lightning bolt. Large, broad spectrum direct damage would be earthquake, and then delayed direct damage. I've yet to find a card that fits that criteria that satisfies my needs. Uh, and just in the Magic the Gathering, even though it's a card game, there are concepts of close range, mid range, and long range, and that in the area of effect that goes on, you have single target, multi target, and then full board wipes and resets. Um, and you have five colors, so you want to have a reset, a board reset, or a state reset in each of the five colors. So there's five cards of that type, and you want four of each. If you can put four of each in your deck, so that's 20 cards now. You see how the bloat can start to accumulate when you have all these different elements. And it's not like in actual video games, where Swamp beats. What is it? It goes green beats. No, green works with red works with black works with blue works with white works with green. And then of course going backwards is their antithesis. So uh, the opposites of red spells are going to be blue spells. The opposite of white spells are going to be black spells. The opposite of red spells are going to be green spells. But you get a strength in that divergence. So having a weapon, say I want to take the Wither Horde with me because it's energy. I mean, it's kinetic, and I want to do kinetic kills. Oh, I forgot I was still on the vault. Actually, yeah. Um, I think that's kind of really. I actually did make my point already. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing here. I would like to have all my staple weapons on my character at all time. Um, oh, did I delete my? I did, didn't I? Fuck. I need a placeholder weapon. You know what? Memento. I'll always have the Rat King at my side. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Who's going to be at my side? Who's going to be my sidearm? I'm going to say the Hawk Moon. I'll keep the Hawk Moon as my sidearm, as my standby. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give each of the mementos to each of my hunters. No, I'm not going to do that because if I, in a fit, make a permanent choice to a temporary situation, I'm going to regret it. I don't want to do that. Looking at my exotics, that's something else to think about now too. Where do I have most of my exotics? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, versus 3 in the energy and 3 in the power. So my kinetic spot is really where my exotics all sit, and I think that's a good thing because that's where the most mutability comes about. Anyway, I'm going to go to the helm, go grab those things. I don't want to feel like using the app today, and or at least at this point. And I'm going to go play some games. You guys, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget now, if you want to do what I'm doing, great for you. But remember that any pinnacle or any vendor reward that you receive, you're going to receive it on only one character. Make sure it's your primary character. This Exo Hunter is my primary character. My Awoken and my Human Hunters are my alts. They're there just to help me speed up the reputation, as I would have probably done anyway with a Warlock or a Titan. But now I don't have to worry about, farming for new gear for a Warlock or a Titan, or constantly upgrading a Warlock or a Titan's gear, or fussing over what exotics are best to use on them. So that's all I'm going to share today for right now. Thanks for stopping